up, Buddy Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans, and get today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Juujika no Rokunin chapter 229. But before I get into this recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable sleeping kitty right here, and this operation, well, again, literally alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one. Feel free to hit up our Cash App, PayPal, and Coffee. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to our Patreon where we are doing our anime live reaction content, because unlike YouTube, where we constantly have to worry about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, well, Patreon, we don't have to worry about that. So we can have our full setup of the anime and manga side by side and have the audio to boot, which is not only great for busting a botch localization or two, but it's great for when we cover anime original content like, say, Digimon Beat Break. And the more views and subscribers we get on Patreon, the more anime we'll cover. And hell, if you're a $10 patron, you get to choose the series we cover as well. And there is a stacked fall anime season in full swing, in which we're covering Digimon, Sanda, Gachikuta, Togenanki, Boku no Hero Academia final season, Spy Family season 3, and, well, thanks to Patreon member, we are covering One Punch Man season 3, and it is goddamn torture, seriously. I need your guys' energy. Please become members and help me get through this. Oh my god. And there's even more on the way, so please check out our Patreon. The link is in the description box below. So, okay, so I think how we're going to handle this is we're going to go straight into this chapter. And when we're done with this chapter, we'll give our thoughts on the chapter. And then our thoughts on, like, Kyo as a whole. Because I think Kyo is going to die this chapter, and man, do I have feelings about it. Not just because I'm a Kyo stan, but this is endgame here. So, I already said I wasn't satisfied last week. I'm really hoping this chapter changes my mind, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into this chapter, see what's in store for us today. And this chapter is titled Apology. All right, here we go. Hey, what would you do if, let's say if you were destined to become a murderer? Someone like me? Well, you know, there has been research done. I don't know if you guys know about this or not. And this has been happening, at Stanford, I believe. I came across this, study randomly, because I do follow, like, medical research institutions like, Stanford, UCSF, Johns Hopkins, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic. I follow them on Twitter, and sometimes they post like really interesting studies. And I think it was Stanford that was doing a study on, because the brain is one of the most, if not the most complex thing in the human body, on how a person's brain is wired can kind of determine if they're going to be a killer or not, because, you know, sociopath and psychopath and whatnot. So this is gonna be very interesting. And we know in Kyo's case, remember, Kyo has a condition where he cannot feel pain. Those the receptors in the brain that activate when you are experiencing pain are non-existent. So keep that in mind, especially when we're seeing Kyo say this. Brain structure, cellular structure, genetic deformity, those people exist too. How would you deal with them? I want to read this again because this is a very interesting point. And I think when he says brain structure, I'm very curious what you guys think. In terms of brain structure, do you think that also includes, because again, this is applying to Kyo's condition. Kyo's condition is genetic deformity, and a cellular. I understand what he's saying by cellular structure, because remember, like with how your body feels a sensation of pain, yeah, that kind of does involve cellular structure, like because the body has to compensate for the lack of pain receptors. So with brain structure, I'm curious if you guys think that also includes the nerves and the pain receptors. Like I think he is that does include that. Let's see, but that's a good question though, because a lot of people can't handle that. And also, if you're going to include like brain structure and genetic deformity, well, cellular structure, I don't know if this would I don't know if cellular structure would apply to me or not. I really have to think about that. But I'm bipolar, okay? I have mental illnesses like bipolar, general anxiety disorder, an orthostatic hypotensive disorder. So like when I see like brain structure, genetic deformity, well, genetic deformity applies to me too because it is genetic. It's through my dad's side. So yes, that, and if we're including like nerves and also oh my god, what is it? The holy shit, what was I thinking? The chemical imbalance. That's the wording I was looking for, was chemical imbalance. And I gotta wonder, especially in Kyo's case, how there's got to be like a massive chemical imbalance going on, like especially how he carries himself. There's like an extreme chemical imbalance going on up in there. But anyways, I'm curious of where this is gonna go. I guess that would be, let's see what Aruma says. I guess that would be unfortunate for them, but one thing's for sure, their victims won't be able to see them that way. Well, duh! Like, the victim, when, maybe at first they would see it that way. Sure, they would feel bad for them. They would. But the thing is, again, with Kyo, though, with someone like Kyo or with someone like me, because our conditions, when you, like, look at us, you wouldn't be able to tell that we are disabled. You wouldn't be able to tell because mental illness is considered invisible. Kyo, like, usually people with Kyo's illness though, you're able to tell that something's going on because of all the injuries and shit like that. Like, so you usually know, but Kyo carries himself really well usually. So you usually, so his situation is kind of rare. But yeah, the victims, but that's the thing though, is that the victims usually don't figure it out until it's too late. Go watch something like Criminal Minds or CSI Miami. Yeah, you'll understand. Which means we're just social outcasts, huh? Even for someone like you could still choose how you live your life because you have the free will to do so. He is 1,000,000,000% right! He is! Unless you're like brain dead or, no, even if you're like paralyzed, you could choose, somewhat choose how to live your life. If you're brain dead or like, hell, part of me's like if you're like fully paralyzed from the neck down, you could still find a way to live your life. You'd have to adjust it, yeah. But the only way you can't choose how to really live your life is if you're brain dead. But God, this is very powerful. Even, I'm going to read this part again. Here, I like Kyo's response to this. I guess that would be unfortunate for them, but one thing's for sure, their victims won't be able to see them that way. Which means we're just social outcasts. I'm a social outcast. I don't give a fuck though. Even for someone like you could still choose how you live your life. Because you have the free will to do so. And that transition was fantastic. Kyo. Whoa. That is nice. Seems like you were right. After all the shit you did, apologize now, so you can finally die as a human. Yeah, Kyo! No, I won't. I'll die the way I want. Yeah! I love it! I love that Kyo's like, fuck off, bro! I ain't apologizing for shit. Like, Kyo, I'm so glad that Kyo's not apologizing. I know people are like, are probably looking at me funny, and the majority of people would be like, Hacker Girl, why are you glad he's not apologizing? Because Kyo in his mind thought he was doing the right thing. Because everyone's version, this is why I say it, I think I love Tomodachi Game for that reason. Is for this reason alone. Oh, there's many reasons why Tomodachi Game is really good. But this quote is just great. Everyone, and even Kingdom, we have that as well. Everyone has their own version of justice, and also good and evil. And it's easier to fight in the name of villainy, and in this case, Kyo, he's fighting in the name of villainy more than ever, more than anything else, and he doesn't give a fuck. He does not give a fuck. This is why I like Kyo. Kyo's just like, fuck off. I ain't doing shit for you. You just want me to apologize to, like, satisfy your ego, and I ain't giving you that satisfaction. See, let me read this. I'm going to read this again here. After Kyo said, I'm going to read what Aruma said, because he's kind of contradicting what he was saying about, because remember what he said. Here, he said, even for someone like you, you could still choose how you live your life because you have the free will to do so. Kyo, seems like you were right, which is he has the right to live the way how he wants because he has the free will to do so. After all the shit you did, apologize now so you can finally die as a human. No, I won't. I'll die the way I want. Yeah! I have no regrets. I'll just leave this world and soon join everyone. Every person I killed. That is my decision. Yes! I love Kyo for this! I love Kyo! Like, this alone is fucking awesome. But someone, I was talking to someone in the comment section, and they were saying that it would have been more satisfying if, like, Kyo was in a similar position to Kakeru, and that he didn't die, that he was just in, he was, in an induced coma, or, like, in a vegetative state. So, basically, he would be stuck, like, in a purgatory, so he couldn't die. Nah! He couldn't die, but he couldn't fully live his life either, like Kakeru. I think that would have been so much better than this. That would have! Because then that way, Aruma gets his revenge, and he avenges Kakeru, because now Kyo has to live in the same hell that Kakeru was living in. And then Kyo is fucking tortured. Kyo is stuck in this, he's stuck in purgatory, and he can't fucking die. You don't have to give him that satisfaction. Because that's what he wants. That's, okay, I see. Then I'll just send you there right now. What? Give him that satisfaction! He'll die if I do this, right? And there's everybody. And he's remembering the choking. The choking game. We've had such a special bond. This was our only means of bonding. Don't you sympathize with me? You fucking idiot! Aruma, you're giving Kyo exactly what he wants! Fucking moron. You're right. For any normal human being, they might still be able to sympathize with you, but in my case, since that day Dad, Mom, Kakeru, I'll kill those bastards. And yes! I abandoned my humanity! As fast as this is, bro, you literally gave Kakeru, I'm sorry, not Kakeru. You literally gave Kyo exactly what he wanted. Go die, Shikoku Kyo! Right, yeah! And we're seeing everything here. We're seeing, like, all the shit that Aruma went through throughout this whole thing. I'm sorry. He apologized! I'm sorry! No! Kyo! No! No. I am not happy with this. Kyo? No. I am not happy with this. No! You fucking contradicted yourself. You said that you had no regrets. You should have not apologized. Instead, what Kyo should be doing is laughing an evil fucking laugh. Like, be like the Joker and laughing his ass off. And going out like a gangsta. I'm not happy. Cause you remember what Kyo was basically doing with his experiment was getting Aruma to get rid of his humanity. That was just he was living for that. Oh my god. They're called apologies. They help you cleanse your heart. But in our case, we're both irredeemable. The revenge has finally been fulfilled. There's only one last cross remaining. Next chapter, back to Aruma's poison. I like this transition. Man, okay. So up until this final part, I was with you. But motherfucker, I do not like that Kyo apologized. One, I don't like that Kyo apologized. And two, I do not like that he was like crying like a little bitch. No, Kyo should have been laughing. He should have been laughing. Because then I'd be like the blood Aruma was crying at the end of this chapter. It would have been so fucking awesome for another reason. Because, like, he would be crying because, yes, he got his revenge, but he also, in the process, gave Kyo exactly what he wanted. And so, like, it would be a bittersweet thing, you know? He got his revenge, but it also was giving Kyo what he wanted. And that would have been so good. So good. I'm so let down by that. Because everything else in this chapter, I really did like what we were getting. Writing-wise. I was actually fine with it up until this point. I just really wish that Kyo was laughing his ass off. That was the only thing. And you know what else would have made it better? Is if we had something akin to like what we were seeing, I think it was in was it Demon Slayer that I'm thinking of? Or it was either Demon Slayer or like or Hell's Paradise Shikakuraku or something. Or no, it was what I wanted to see in Demon Slayer where or no, it is something I wanted to see in Demon Slayer where all of the women that Doma ate like pulled and Shinobu was the one leading the charge. Pulled Doma into the pits of hell. Like, that's what I wanted. I wanted, right as Kyo was dying, he was looking into the sky and seeing, like, all the people that he killed. I wanted to see the, after, like, right as he was dying and he's laughing his ass off, like, have that turn, like, flip around and have it turn into the pits of hell and see the victims, like, pulling him down. Like, that would have been so fucking sick. That would have been amazing. That to me would have felt way more satisfying. It would have. And I think that would, to me, those two things would have saved this chapter. Is if you would have had, one, not have Kyo apologize and laugh instead. And two, like, instead of, like, having the, as Kyo's looking in this, instead of, like, have, I'm sorry, let me reword this. Like, after, you know, Kyo mentions that he's looking at his cult up in the sky and he's so excited to see them, like, right as he's dying, has the cult, it transitions into the people that he, to his cult members, pulling him down into the pits of hell. Like, I just think that would be so much better. But, like, Aruma crying the tears of blood, though, would be even more powerful and more impactful as well. Because, yeah, it's the poison, sure. But, like, even without the poison involved, even, like, poison aside, he still gave Kyo exactly what he wanted. One, he said that he abandoned his humanity, which is exactly what Kyo wanted. And two, he killed Kyo, which is what Kyo wanted in the first place. So, like, even if he didn't have the poison, the tears of blood, I would have been fine with, regardless. I would have been so fine with it regardless. But yeah, I'm very curious what you guys think. Do you guys think this chapter would have been more satisfying if, one, Kyo didn't apologize, two, if Kyo was laughing as he was dying, like the psychopathic gangster he is, and three, if we saw the cult followers that he was looking into the heavens at, like as he's dying, have it transition from that heaven, kind of like when Kenny died in South Park, the South Park movie, and we saw him like almost reaching heaven, but then all of a sudden he was denied, and he just like fell into the pits of hell, like that kind of thing. That would have been, that just would have made this so much better. And it would, it would have felt so much more satisfying. And I think it kind of would have, for me, if we would have gotten that, I think I would have maybe forgiven I still wouldn't have forgiven what we got for Kyo's torture. So, speaking of, let's talk about the ship for Kyo. And also Kyo and Aruma's relationship. Kyo as a freaking whole, okay? Kyo as a character is fucking awesome. He is like a peak villain. I love what we found out about him, like having, a genetic disorder that essentially prevents him from feeling pain. I just feel like that, elevated his treachery to another level, because he can't feel shit about it. It makes him, like, his give a shit level even lower. And it's great. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. The shit that, we had with Momoki, his relationship with Momoki was really twisted. We'll talk about the Momoki stuff, especially if next chapter is the last chapter of the series. I'll talk about that shit then, because I got shit to say about that, too. His relationship with Aruma was very twisted. I like how he became fascinated with death was after seeing seeing a person he talked to hang himself in a tree. I thought that was very interesting. But the tortures in the love matching game really pissed me off. They were not extreme enough for me. I feel like you could have gotten more from them. But, I mean in Kyo selections for them. But, I think everything up until the love matching game, I think that's where shit really fell apart, was love matching game. But again, we'll get to that when we get to the end of the series. But in terms of Kyo stuff. I think Kyo as a character is very fascinating. Do I think, was I satisfied with this torture? No. This wasn't... Momoki fucking ruined this shit. She ruined this. Like, after all this shit that we've seen in Juujika no Rokunin, I thought Kyo was going to get, something more insane than what we saw him do to Ando. You could have given me, you could have done, something similar to Ando. Well, the mega evolution of what happened to Ando. You could have you could have done that. Or combine that with, oh my god, what was it? Ooh, you could have done, you know what would have been sick? Because it would have been a great way to tie this all together. Is do all the tortures that we saw with the bullies, combine them all just for Kyo, especially since he can't feel pain. Oh man. Remember what he was saying about how and even, you know what? I think if Katami, you know what? I have to wonder. And I was just thinking about this. Especially, I should have thought about this sooner when we got to the shit about like the brain structure and stuff like that. If Katami were alive, if he did not sacrifice himself, and Katami was here, he probably would have found a way to make Kyo feel pain and we would have gotten the torture that Kyo deserved. Losing Katami was the worst thing to happen to this manga. It was. Katami should, oh man, if we would have had Katami here, Kyo would have gotten like a drug or something that would have given him the ability to feel pain, to experience pain, and we would have gotten the torture that Kyo deserved. Oh man, we were so robbed. Even though Katami went out like a gangsta. Oh man, we were so robbed for multiple reasons. Because one, Katami and Kyo like have a very similar twisted demeanor and personality. So I would have loved to see them talk and interact. But also, like, Katami is a doctor. He's also a doctor. He knows how the human body works. He probably could have found a way to create a drug that would give Kyo the ability to feel pain. That would have been so amazing. But man, this is so underwhelming. Oh, I'm not happy with this. Again, I feel like the one who ruined all of this is Momoki. She ruined it. She fucking ruined it. She ruined this. We could have had something glorious if, as I said, if Katami was alive. Then we got Momoki. Like, I really wanted Reo to be the one to kill Momoki. Reo had every right to do it. Fuck, if they would have gotten to torture Momoki and Kyo side by side, I would have been fine with that too. Kind of like do a throwback to Ando. But I understand why they didn't do it. I'm fine that they didn't do it. But what do you guys think of the situation here? Do you think that that this torture was lackluster? Do you think that if Katami would have been here, that we would have gotten the torture that we deserved or that Kyo deserved? And again, in regards to this chapter, especially with how it was freaking set up, do you think that Kyo not laughing, instead crying like a bitch and actually apologizing kind of ruined it? He should have laughed. He should have died laughing and not apologize. I think if that happened, and obviously we had the tears of blood, I really think it would have made this powerful. It just would have been awesome, because then again, as I said, you would have Aruma in this dilemma where it's like, oh shit, I got the revenge that I wanted, but Kyo also got exactly what he wanted, which was he got to die, and he got to see Aruma turn into a monster and lose his humanity. That really fucking sucks. It just, I'm just so torn. I really wish this was better. I really wish that we would have at least gotten that. But it says here at the end of the chapter that there's only one last cross. So the revenge has finally been fulfilled, and there's only one last cross remaining. So for this situation here, because we know Aruma's gonna die, there's no way he survives. If he survives this, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm just thinking that because of all the sins that Aruma committed, I would not mind seeing something similar to what we saw in either Hell's Paradise Jigakaraku or what was the other one? Or in Demon Slayer. If we get, like, if Aruma gives if they give Aruma like an Akaza kind of situation, where if you guys remember when how Akaza's waifu and his master like met up with him and they went to hell together. If we get something like that where Aruma reunites with his family, and let's be real, Grandpa's going to hell too. And you know Grandma's going with him. Because, yeah. But if we get something like that, like a family reunion in purgatory, and they all go down to hell together, I will not be mad at that. Or at least Grandpa and Aruma going down to hell together. I would be so okay with that. I would be fine with that if we get something like that. But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think we're going to get with this? Do you guys think we're going to see Aruma... One, you think we're going to see Aruma die like I do? And two, do you think the way Aruma goes out is going to be something similar? Because remember, in Akaza's case, Akaza lost his humanity and became a demon. But when he died, he regained his humanity in the process. And I feel like that's what we're going to get with Aruma. And that would just feel so right. We saw this, and it would also tie to what we saw with Grandpa. Because when Grandpa died, we saw him basically saying that Aruma and Kakeru, they were the ones that, brought him his humanity back. Awakened his humanity. So it would just fit so perfectly if we got something like that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below what you guys think. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, including Juujika no Rokunin. If you wish, you could do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, Coffee. Purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.